Hey guys, welcome back. Just wanted to take the time to show you guys my new version of this can. It is untested though, but I had pretty good luck with the previous version, so I'm really hoping that this will kind of solve a lot of the problems that I'm having here. Jim, I believe Jim Connor, I believe is his name. I'll put a link to his channel in this video, hopefully, if I remember. Was telling me when he was looking at the plants that I had in the cans, he said that he thought that they would greatly benefit from more air getting to the roots. With the small cans that were this design, they were just half the size. I didn't have anything in the bottom, so it really didn't offer any leeway. It was just kind of water or put nutrients into the level on the cube that I was looking for. So, you know, things were growing, absolutely. But as Jim pointed out, they weren't really, things were surviving, sorry, but they weren't really growing like they should. So he said that my plants could probably definitely benefit from a little bit more oxygen on the roots. So, I had already come up with this design, so I haven't been able to implement it yet. These are the tools that I happen to use. These needle nose pliers, and then just a standard razor blade knife, or whatever you want to call it. I prefer it to be in the case like this. I don't necessarily prefer, this particular thing, this particular one to any other. I just know that having a handle, something to hold on to when you're trying to cut, really seems to help out quite a bit. For this design, it's really simple. I needed 2 cans. One can I just cut along right below this, where it kind of goes up like that. I cut right below the line there. So depending on where you cut on this can will be all the rest of the measurements and everything. But just cut along that and take the top off. That gives you this part here. And then I took another can and I just cut the bottom and top off, which gave me this, plus about 3 more inches on this side. Because I'll show you guys here in a minute. I did want to mention that I don't get, I'm not sponsored by anybody or anything, but Harbor Freight had these tool sets here for, I think it was a little over $6. It's been extremely helpful in the short time I've had it, so it's definitely something that, if you guys are doing this type of thing or doing other kind of work and stuff, just setting these on where they belong in the bags here. This could be very helpful. So they had a buy something for $4.99 or above and get a free pack of batteries. So I went ahead and took advantage of that and got this, which worked out perfectly well when I was trying to make this here. So just not sponsored by them. Didn't get this particular set for free. I paid full price for this. I did get some batteries free from them though, for purchasing that pack, so take it however you want. That deal was open to everybody. They didn't give me any special deal or anything like that, so I just want to make that clear. I was just pointing out that I got a really great tool set here. Now I don't think that these are made to be cutting aluminum, so maybe I voided my warranty, because I think they give warranties on the hand tools and stuff, but just kind of give you guys an idea. If you don't happen to have these tools, and you have this, you can do most of the work, if not all the work with this, but I think it's a lot safer when you're using these tools to cut instead of using this all the time to cut all the cuts. The round cuts aren't that dangerous, but when trying to cut the top here down, it can be quite dangerous if you're trying to use the knife and cut this way. Not to mention the can tends to bend, and it's just a whole bunch of stuff. So sorry I'm rambling. Just wanted to show you guys here though. I'll go ahead and pull this apart and kind of show you the inside. I did want to make very clear, when I get to the inside here, I'll try to show you guys something that I did, and I want to make sure that I tell you guys to go the right way. So just a standardized rock wool cube, sorry, and inside you can see, well, you may not actually be able to see. But here I have just two clippings of the cans, just kind of put together. I just cut, they're 1.5 inches tall, and then I just cut 2 of them, and then I just kind of slid them together like that. Folded them up a little bit and slid them like that, just so that when they go to the bottom down here, it's more of a platform for the rock-wool cube to sit on. So that kind of explains that. But I just wanted to point out that when you're cutting the can, when I cut the can, I cut along the full outside, so I'd only use 1 can to get, you know, a much larger piece, or a larger, you know, piece of this. If you do that, the first time you use it, make sure not to do this and stick it in here, because this will expand to the full size of the can, and it won't give your rock-wool cube anything to sit on. So what I did is I took the can this way, so normally the top's up here and the bottom's down here, and I measured up 1.5 inches, is what I did with my measurements that I had obtained with my can. Measured up 1.5 inches here, and then I just cut this way here. So that's just an FYI. And then you roll it. You don't roll it this way, the way it was originally rolled. You roll it this way, there. And what I usually do is I'll usually fold it slightly folded. I don't fold it all the way, but you grab one of these. So I just, you know, I cut this, and it's 1.5 inches this way approximately. You can see it's not straight or anything. I ended up ripping a lot of it because it seemed to be easier than cutting it all the time. But I then kind of folded it in half a little bit, but I didn't actually crease I just put a very slight crease into the metal. It's hard to see, I know, I'm sorry. But I just slightly creased them, and they're kind of a, you know, 6 or 8 sided, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yes, an 8-sided kind of octagon kind of shape. I mean, you can do whatever you want. The big deal is just to keep the rock wheel. Just keep the rock wheel off the bottom, so that way as the liquid drains, you get a little bit more air. This gives you a bigger reservoir than the previous version as well. So, oh, and then also I ended up slitting down, you know, I measured this way and I measured this way, got the center of both, and then I cut down 1/2 inch. So depending on how tall the can is, and will depend on how much you want to cut in here. And then what you want to do is you want to put the rock-wool cube at the bottom of where this is cut here. So you want to stick it. Oh shucks, sorry guys. All right, so you want to stick it like right there. See, so that's where the bottom of the cut is there. So you want to stick it there, hold it down, and somehow try to take a measurement. What I did is I took my ruler. This is my son's ruler, by the way. Thank you for letting me borrow it. His mom's like, Daddy's always looking for a ruler, so why don't you let him borrow yours? So he's let me borrow it. So what I ended up doing is I measured. I made the ruler go even with the bottom of the rock-wool cube here, and then I took a measurement, and it says that it is 2 inches there. So what I did, then I took my measurement down to the bottom here, and it measures pretty much at 4. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's pretty much 4. So I took 2 inches off of that, so I got 2 inches, and so then I cut it to 1.5 inches to try to give it a little bit more space at the bottom, and also to take into effect this little this goes up, and these here are right. They rest on it a little bit there. So just trying to take that into account there. So I know these are really rough measurements. You're probably just gonna have to experiment around with measurements. Try to remember what you did for the next time you cut and do things, because if you don't, you might have some problems with everything fitting together and stuff. But essentially, you put your plant in the rock-wool cube in, You then take and I just usually bend down and kind of fold it just a little, crease it a little there, so that it will stay. So then you just fold down all four sides, and the goal is to have this kind of go down and try to hold the rock-wool cube in place a little bit there. And then what you do is when you're going to add nutrients, or check to see if there's any nutrients. Ultimately, the best bet is to have this where no light can get in. So maybe I cut this piece here a little short on those. I'm not sure, but it looks like it's a little loose. What I intended to do is fold these down a little bit and have it kind of hold it in place, and that would be what I would normally do. So not having plants in here doesn't give this much weight, but you can see it works pretty good. But when you go to add nutrients, you can open up one of the last flap that you folded down, look inside, see what the level's at, and then just fill the nutrients up to the point where you want it to be. Just remember the rock-wool cube, maybe you want to measure it and mark the outside, so that way you know where the line is, or maybe you want to try to mark the inside. I don't know what you want to do, but essentially, you just want to try to make sure you don't overfill it. So this will give you a bigger reservoir than the previous version, and hopefully get more air to the roots there. So hopefully Jim approves of my design there. But that's that. So there you have it. This is my new can design. I had a can there sitting. Hopefully you guys like it. Looks like there's a big gap there, but if I were to push this down a little more, it's going to take some refinement and everything. So it really depends, since the lower pieces move around on you. The rock-wool cube is going to shift a little bit depending on how it's sitting on it, and you might end up with gaps. So you may need to cut another piece of aluminum foil to just kind of set around the roots there. I don't know what you want to try to do, but to keep out as much sunlight out of your reservoir will keep the algae down to a minimum. Obviously sunlight's probably going to get down there and you're going to have some algae growth, but hopefully nothing like the open containers that I had. So hopefully this helps somebody. Hopefully you guys like my revision and everything. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comments if you want. Try to get back to you guys if I can on comments there. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.